everybody, to Court Cousins, episode 18. My name is Kyle. I'm joined, as always, by my cousin, my co-host, Jason the Peach. Ladies and gentlemen, we're recording this on Thursday, April 28. We've got a great show for you. We're going to check in with each other for our ROLO Check In. We'll scour the interwebs for your tweets, twats, and posts about our Orlando Magic. We'll do a little season superlatives, Court Cousin style. We have a guest conference. We apologize for not last episode, so we'll bring it to you this episode. We'll do a Magic the Card gathering, and then we'll see where we are in our playoff bracket challenge. But first, we have to give a shout out to our very first second cousins. Our first Patreon supporters. We do have the Patreon up now, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate anything you can do. Buy us a beer once a month. We'd greatly appreciate it. Shout out to Gloria, Damien, and Connor. And yes, Gloria and Damien are my parents, and I'm not ashamed. They love me.
Wow, our first second cousins are your parents.
That sounds like Louisiana, yeah.
This is a West Virginia situation. Let me tell you, we normally start out with a ROLO check-in. I'm going to go ahead and defer to you, sir, because I have a ROLO check-in that you're not going to be able to top, and I don't want you to feel the pressure of having to follow the one I'm about to bring.
Wow, hubris, my friend. Pride before the fall, Peach, okay? Well, today for my ROLO check-in, I've got a ROLO from the Portland Trailblazers. He's rocking a soul patch. I don't know. I'm just feeling soulful today, Peach.
Okay. Wow. Nice.
Came back from spring break, saw some good music, some good sights. Maybe it was the music making me feel good. We're going to comedy this weekend. We're going to go see some more live music. I'm just feeling the soul in me. So I got the soul patch going today. ROLO Soul Patch, Portland Trailblazers.
See, I thought the soul patch had to have a little bit of that right under the lip, too, but I'll give it to you on that one.
That's like an abbreviated soul? What would you call that?
I don't know what this is, but it's something, and it's funky, and that's the mood you're feeling, so I guess it fits.
It's something, but is it anything? How you feeling today, Peach?
Well, for mine, I've got something that's definitely going to get the bell, I think. First of all, you know what? It's just too dang hot in here.
Oh,
I'm going to stand because I can tell you can't see.
What is that? Oh, my goodness gracious. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought I saw my cousin in a Magic City Edition, which I did. I thought it was a Franz or something. But did you get a Franz down in?
I did.
You did.
I did.
So I thought that's what you had. But that's not what you had.
I hit it well. This is how you ROLO check in while wearing the ROLO jersey. I figured even if he doesn't play again for us, this season was kind of magical for a lot of reasons. And this is the season that they debuted these jerseys. So I figured, why not? I'm getting it. I want to be a part of it. And I think for the rest of the shows while we're in the off season, I'm not going to jersey anymore. I'm going to put the hold on the jerseys during the show until the season starts back up. But what better way to go out than with the City Edition ROLO? And I chose this graphic here from Magic Player History. Our boy Jay puts these up for all the players. He put them up for all the players at the end of the season, and he updates it throughout the season, which is great. As you can see there in the graphic that he was not on the Orlando Magic all-time leader list at all before the season, and now you can see where he ranks in a couple statistical categories there. And he's wearing the City Edition jersey in this post, so it's a good time. Go. Is
that game worn, Peach? Is that game worn?
Not game worn. He only played 36 games, and I think he only played a handful of games when they had the black and the orange, so this would have been a tough one to get on the big boy. But you know what? My birthday's tomorrow. I was feeling it. I was like, you know what? Go for it.
Birthday edition.
It's a 33, which in my heart will always be Terry Catman Catledge, but that was a different style jersey. I figured it was safe on this one.
Okay.
ROLO. We're doing it.
Wow. Yeah. And ROLO, you got to be like one of 7 people that have that jersey, Peach.
It's a rare treasure, which is a category we may have coming up later in the wheel.
If we spin it that way, yeah, certainly. I'm loving it, dude. Happy birthday to you. Early birthday. Excited to celebrate that this weekend. And thank you, ROLO. What he brought us, the ROLO Check In. I mean, it's very fitting, sir.
Well, I want to start off on a positive note, but I remember talking last show about Jonathan Isaac and how little we know of him or how little we see him. And it's like, okay, well, ROLO didn't play a lot either, but we definitely saw him on social media. You see him on the screen in between, timeouts and stuff like that, and he's part of the team. He felt like he was a part of this team more than the 36 games he played. They should have done that with him. Keep him involved. Keep him in the play. Then maybe I'd be wearing a 1. No. Not his 1.
All right, now we're going on to the part of the show where we look out for all of your posts about our beloved Orlando Magic, mostly on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We're scouring around. I'm on the Twitter sphere. Yep. Peach is on the Instagrams and the Facebooks.
Sure, and the TikTok, but I don't see a lot of TikTok activity.
You're a talker.
I've seen. I'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's beyond me. Bless you, sir. The first one we have is from Orlando Magic Podcast, Orlando Magic HQ, the guys at Ozone Podcast. They do a fantastic job, and I love these graphics that they put up. I'm not sure who's the graphic designer over there, but they do a nice job. They look really clean, and they share a lot of news this way. And the unfortunate news that they're sharing in this post, Peach, is about our boy, the Torch, Terrence Ross. And it's a quote here. We had some good runs. We had some fun, but I think now I'm ready to transition into something else. Mm-hmm. How you feeling about the departure? Well, I mean, the presumed departure of Terrence Ross and this announcement.
I'm fine with it. Honestly, I really felt like I thought he was going to go at the trade deadline. I think that would have been a better time for us to capitalize on getting something for him. I'm for it. It feels like, if he's not comfortable with that deeper bench role that he sort of had at the end of the season, then he needs to go take his talents somewhere else. And I'm not surprised. Right. I think it'd be a good roster spot for us to perhaps use on somebody else and save us a little money. I think it's going to be a win-win. It's just time. I think what he said is perfect. He wasn't insulting anybody. He wasn't saying, I need to get out of here. Mm-hmm. I think he kind of went about it in the right way, which is good because he's liked playing in Orlando. He's become a very popular player with fans. Yeah. So I think this is exactly how you do it, because he could go play a couple of years for somebody else and then come back and join the broadcasting team in a few years.
Oh, I would love that. I'll push back on this is exactly how you do it, because that's the only thing that's a little befuddling to me about this, and I'll get to that in a moment. I'll just shout out Terrence Ross. Thanks for everything, man. I think it was a great vet to have on the team. Saw a lot of torch lightings, not quite this year, but he was an integral part of those playoff teams that had some good seasons the last few years. This is what I'm confused about. Why is this happening now? You mentioned it just a moment ago. Shouldn't this have happened at the trade deadline? And how does Terrence Ross, him coming out, I can't imagine that this helps the leverage of our front office to get any type of return for him. We're not getting anything better than a second-round pick at this point. Right. So I really don't get the timing and why, I love T. Ross, but why he would come out and say this. It makes me think that there's something behind the scenes where he actually feels like maybe he did request a trade at the trade deadline. He wanted to leave this season and didn't get it.
Right.
And now him and his agent are like, all right, well, now this is happening.
Sure.
And that's a little bit troubling or concerning, because I do think from what I've seen on the outside looking into the front office, it seems like they're pretty straight up with guys, and they do like to take care of players and do right by them. So this is I'm a little curious as to the progeny of this comment at this time and why this came about now.
I think, they probably had a conversation that, it was no secret he was on the trading block. They must have not been offered anything that moved their needle.
Yeah.
So they just stayed packed with him. And now I think they're at a point where he's sort of like, well, I thought I was going to be somewhere else now.
Yeah.
But now I'm here. So, I got to say something. And they did. So, honestly, what were you going to get from him anyway? Probably a second-round pick at the trade deadline. So, probably similar now. I don't think it changes too much. I don't.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think I was a little bit more optimistic. I wish he would have been having a better season, and I thought someone might be a little bit desperate to get into that play-in or make a push, but didn't end up happening.
Yeah, I don't think any return we were going to get from a team that was looking to make the playoffs was going to be their first-round pick.
Nah, you're right.
And we weren't going to get a second, and we probably weren't going to get a player we wanted.
True.
So
let's just bid him farewell and say thank you, sir.
That's all you can do, man.
Yeah. All right, cool. So the next one is from Magic Twitterverse legend, although this is on Instagram. He's thorough on Instagram as well. Jeff Weltgod.
Oh, he's everything he posts on Twitter, it ends up on the gram as well.
Oh, okay.
That's where
I'm not privy to this. I only can keep one social media, or else my mind will explode. And so we have this is a rated R pick. So if you're a young one, please turn off the YouTube and come back in a couple minutes.
It might be PG-13.
Okay, it's PG-13. So we have a contraceptive device, shall we say, that a male may use on their member, perhaps. And the very bottom of that at 3.8 inches is guys who think Franz isn't first team all rookie. Those guys have problems.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Franz more in a second.
We will.
Fill up the rest of the content.
Okay, so at 4 inches, we have drives a lifted truck. 4.2 inches CrossFitters, and that's embarrassing because I definitely used to CrossFit pretty hard. You can't tell anymore, but I used to really enjoy it. 4.3 Sugar Daddies. That's
the thing is, you're probably a little bigger than that, so it wasn't working out for you.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for saving me there.
Yeah, you're all right, man.
Thanks. 4.3 Sugar Daddies. That's you, Peesh.
Oh, hey, I don't have any money.
4.5 inches personal trainers. 4.6 bodybuilders. 5 inches T-Mobile sales reps. 5.2 inches gamers. 5.7 felons. Felons are making out here in this. And then 7.1 inches at the very tip. Magic Vans filling her up. I mean, that wasn't the right expression at that moment.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, this device is meant to stop that.
The opposite.
So, don't be a fool, wrap your tool, kids. That's ironically how you keep away from getting kids. Yeah, this one's pretty fun. I don't know why they got to throw shade at T-Mobile sales reps. Yeah. Obviously, somebody had a run-in with somebody. I don't know what the average size is nowadays. I don't take a running poll this often, but I do feel like 7.1 puts us above average.
Yeah.
So I think that the point is made on things being filled here. I think if you told the right felon he should only measuring in at 5.7, he'd probably be a little angry at that one. I think that's probably closer to average. I've heard maybe it's 5, 6. I don't know.
This show just took a turn.
I mean. But hey, in the comments, hit us up. Let us know what's the average
what size are you?
What fills this thing?
And at 3.8, guys who think Franz isn't first team all rookie. I think below that, Peesh, maybe coming in at like 2.1, is guys who don't even vote for Franz Wagner for Rookie of the Year.
Yes, the micro penis.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, they got to search.
It's a thing.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. I mean,
but that's who voted. That's who votes.
Those guys shouldn't get votes.
Yeah, I mean, they have other things to deal with. They shouldn't be voting for Rookie of the Year. And that brings us into our next post from David Link. And this is on a new Facebook group
called Orlando Magic fans, or for more Orlando Magic for Life is what it's called.
Orlando Magic for Life. Okay,
and,
cool.
It's by David Linick. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but
David Link. Sorry, Dave.
Link, probably. Yeah, you're probably right on that one.
I don't know.
And he writes, well, it's official. The national media just hates the Orlando Magic. The voters for the NBA Rookie of the Year gave Jalen Green 1 second-place vote and only gave Franz Wagner 2 third-place votes. All I have to say about this is it's utter bullshit because Franz Wagner definitely outplayed Jalen Green all season long. It took Jalen Green about half the season to get in his groove, and Franz Wagner was stellar all season long. I just don't get what the NBA and national media's problem is. If you play great, then you played great. Should not matter what team you are on. Just lots of Orlando Magic haters drinking that haterade. And although it's long-winded, you can tell those are the kind of posts that you see a lot where people are just like, I'm mad. I got to blow off steam. Yep. And you know what? I was mad too. This was the post where I then later learned after reading the picture that he attached with some of the information about voting. I cannot believe Scotty Barnes won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
He's not my Rookie of the Year. He wouldn't even be in my top 3. Yeah. Like, Evan Mobley was there. I'm willing to listen to Jalen Green. Of course, Franz Wagner and Cade Cunningham. Yeah. Like, I don't know how Scotty Barnes got into this category. I'm not even sure how he got votes, but obviously something must be a little flawed with the votes if Franz is only getting 2 third-place votes. They only vote for the top 3 places. Just 2 at 3. Come on, man. What games are people watching?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of Toronto Raptors games, and I don't want this to become a bash on Scotty Barnes because he seems like a really good all-around player. I mean, he's a funny decently guy, well. He did decently well. Yeah, he seems like a good dude.
He's a good dude.
He played decent when he played the Magic, but he didn't pop off the screen necessarily. And for him to get the most first-place votes, that's what's really surprising to me. It was kind of all Evan Mobley. I guess Evan going down at the end of the season really, really hurt him because he was stellar. Like, he was breakout on a team, on the Cavs team that really was skyrocketing when they were doing what they were doing. He was a key piece to that.
For sure.
And I know the Raptors are in the playoffs, but they got 2 All-Stars on that team. Yeah. Well, they were, yeah. They're playing tonight. I mean, a lot of people are still picking them to win that series. They're playing in Toronto. Tyrese Maxey can't play. Joel Embiid has a torn ligament in his thumb, in his shooting hand. So, I mean, it very well could go their way. But, I mean, I just thought it was Evan Mobley, like, sign, seal, deliver. And then I saw Cade Cunningham, like NBA, Golden Boy, he's got to come around. But, yeah, that really took me by surprise. I didn't expect Franz to really get any first or second place votes, but I expected him to get some third place votes.
Sure.
And I expected him to do better than Jalen Green.
Yes.
Who was an inefficient volume shooter, had a little bit better efficiency towards the end of the year, but he was just chucking.
Right. He dropped 30 a couple games. I mean,
so did Franz, way more efficiently.
I'm with you. But people aren't watching Magic games, which is kind of the point of this.
I guess.
They're just not following it. From what I've seen of the Raptors, I sometimes don't even know if Scotty Barnes is playing. That's where I'm at. Like, I just don't notice him.
Yeah.
I've seen him a few times doing a few things, but nothing that, like, oh man, he's nice, like not rookie of the year category, especially when there's those other guys to choose from.
Right.
If it's a down year and nobody's playing well and it's clearly a toss-up, fine.
If it's this the year, Michael Carter Williams, Victor Oladipo year, okay, sure, Scotty Barnes can win it.
I think people are going to look back at this year and be like, who won rookie of the year that year? Was it Franz? Was it Evan Mobley? If they're going to mention all these other names and then we're going to be like, oh yeah, no, it's Scotty Barnes. You'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. I don't know. Maybe he'll have a long career that's good. I don't think he's going to be
perennial
multiple-time all-star or any of that.
I think he's going to be a really good piece on a team.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but
anyhow, it did turn into the Scotty Barnes bash time.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, when you're talking about a guy who's won an award and you don't believe he should have, there's going to be a little bit of bashing there. But I mean, I think that is a conversation that was being had when this went down because it's kind of amazing. I think a lot of people who are in the know or close to some of these other rookies or actually watched the NBA and didn't just vote randomly probably are like really questioning it. And it's not really a mark against Scotty Barnes as a player or a man, but we just felt like other players were that much better.
I think the moral of the story is we should get votes. We should be voting for this NBA. I mean, look at what we have here. What other type of how more reputable could someone be than doing a podcast in their attic? Okay, this is top tier, man. We're putting out.
Maybe we should start by asking the Magic if we can vote for the team. Okay, and then see if we can expand.
I just go for I shoot for the stars, man. Shoot for the stars, land on the moon. All right. Anyways, that cliche down the drain. Last is not quite an Orlando Magic post, a Lakeland Magic post, and the Lakeland Magic social media team killed it with these posts.
Yep.
They did the classic NBA Jam. That's embarrassing. NBA Jam, side by side, 2 players with their attributes. All the attributes of these players are awesome. They have 3 squads of 2.
They may have overestimated, but
they have Downton and Ford, 1 squad, Johnson and Teskey as another squad, and Gravett and Tillman as a 3rd squad. And they asked the question that I'm going to pose to you, Peesh. Mm-hmm. Who you got? Who you running with? Which squad you picking?
Well, this is tough, and it kind of goes against what I would normally pick here. But I'm going to go with Downton and Ford because, as you can see, their bars, they have a bar for finish. And I like it when guys know how to finish.
Okay, verbiage.
I know what I said.
Let's go back to the Welt God post.
Normally, I would want to see rebounds there, but I know those other guys can rebound. And by the way, I know what way you're going, so I wanted to pick a different one.
I was actually pre-show. I said to you, Pish, I said, I think you know which way I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to throw you off.
I see.
I was actually going to go with the Downton Ford, just because this year Downton was the go-to guy on the Lakeland Magic. He was kind of the number one scoring threat and the scorer. And Aleem Ford was a solid big man, and I have his signed game-used jersey, so he holds a special place in my heart. Where's number 11, my lucky number?
True.
All of these things connect. But if you're going to go there, I'll play the other side of the coin. I'll go with my ginger brethren, ginger card-holding buddy, Hassani Gravett and Jeremiah Tillman. Jeremiah's not a ginger, but I still love his game. Big guy down low. He did play. He was probably one of our better players when we saw them play the Westchester Knicks, even though everyone kind of stunk it up. But he and Doughton were probably the two best players in that game. And I just love Hassani's game. I thought what he gives as a true point guard who can shoot and dish the ball. I love the pace that he plays at, the intensity, breakneck speed.
No one would ever question his effort.
No. Or his finish, which he deserves to have the finish on there. I don't know. Well, what's up with that? Anyways, shout out Lakeland Magic, man. Great year this year. All right, so now, Peach, last time we did player report cards.
Yes, us and a lot of other folks.
Right, so we felt that was kind of stale, and we're like, you know what? We probably shouldn't have done that. We should have gone more Court Cousins style. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is much more Court Cousins style. Mm-hmm. Season superlatives.
Yes.
So just like you had in...
Takes me back to high school. I was on the yearbook squad. I used to put these things together. There was I was supposed to get one of these things. I got voted out as popularity contest. Not happy about it. But these are going to go much better.
So you didn't win any superlatives?
I did not. I was supposed to.
I have one embarrassing superlative. What was the one you were supposed to win?
I was supposed to win Best Writer because I was also on the newspaper, and I used to write some fun articles in there. And then they gave it to somebody else for something they wrote in an English class because that kid was popular and I wasn't.
Let's fucking trash him. What was that asshole's name?
No, I'm not going to go there.
No, you're not going to go there? We don't want to dig up the past.
It's not his fault.
No, well.
I'm sure he didn't ask for it. As a matter of fact, when I talked to him about it later, he said he had nothing to do with it. It was just somebody chose and was like, oh, nobody knows that guy. Let's go with him. Everyone knows him. It makes sense.
You're a great writer.
They're trying to sell yearbooks. I get it.
Yeah. I won. I was like most likely to be a model or best model.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not because all the girls at my school thought I was hot.
Yeah.
Because I went to an all guys school.
Weirder. This is a weirder category.
And it was really a troll. Like, dudes were trolling me.
Yeah.
My friends were trolling me, and somehow got it in there because an embarrassing part of my history was, my father's an actor, so he would bring me around, and I did a lot of acting as a kid and played well with when I played well now as I'm a teacher. But so I did a little bit of headshots, photo shoots for potential modeling gigs or whatever, just to sell move product, right?
Yep.
And so embarrassingly, I don't know how I withstood this in high school, but sophomore, junior year, those 11, 12-year-old Kyle photo shoots somehow surfaced in my friend group and spread throughout part of the school.
Right. Yeah.
And man, I had enough of social clout to weather that storm. That could have been disastrous. But it was a pretty good laugh. I'll have to dig that out. So best model is not a category in our season superlatives, nor is best writer, although those might be interesting. But we've got 8 different categories that we're going to go through. Mm-hmm. All right, so the first is best post-game interview. Peach, who are you giving this superlative to?
I mean, look, he's on your shirt.
Yeah.
It's cool, Anthony. I mean,
no money, man.
You never know what he's going to say. And that's the beauty of it. Other guys can go and be funny on the regular, and that's cool. But you legit have no idea what happens when they put a live mic in front of Cole Anthony's face. You don't know what you're going to get. And it's always going to be something pretty good. hopefully we see him in more happy post-game interviews in the future, because I want to see what else he can dig into.
Yeah, I didn't see enough of those at the end of the season.
Are you picking somebody other than Cole?
Well, someone else you don't know what to expect is Jalen Suggs.
All right.
The games where he was swearing on the hot mic and everyone was outraged about it, that was hilarious.
All right.
He's like, man, Moritz told me I'm a bad motherfucker and I just went in there and did it. He's like, you can see Dante's like, oh my God, hot mic, what am I going to do? I thought that was hilarious. It spurred this huge, you can't say that, there were kids watching. And my whole thing as an English teacher is, words and language give them the context that we create. There's nothing inherently wrong about the word fuck or any of these words besides what we've kind of socially normed for them.
That is a smart way of putting that over there.
I like
to me, I'd just be like, hey, kids need to learn when a badass motherfucker walks in the room. And now you know.
That guy is a badass motherfucker.
Yeah, he was in his bag, and then he gets called a badass motherfucker. This is how it works, kids.
All right, next one. Best at being on opposing teams' posters.
Well, I got to go with the Mo Bamba here. He does block a fair amount of shots and can rim protect a little, but he does have modes where he gets a little soft and kind of gets jammed on. And as it happens with any big man, you're going to get dunked on. It's happened to everyone, from the tallest Manute Bowles to the shortest guys. And when you're around the rim trying to block it, occasionally you're going to end up on team's poster. So for me, I'd have to say it's probably him. But it's because he's trying to block. So
yeah, and I'll go with Moritz Wagner on this one.
He has been on some as well.
Yeah, and because he just gets under people's skin.
But he dishes them back.
Well, exactly. Nice. He's tenacious, so he's not backing down from anybody.
Right. His finish meter is up.
But when you go that hard and you get in people's faces like that, and people kind of play with a chip on their shoulder around you, you're gonna end up on the bad side of the bargain from time to time.
Yep.
And so sometimes it's Moritz Wagner.
Yeah, as Charles Barkley would say, when a guy is banging into you. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. This one you probably did see in your yearbook. It's the tried and true, most likely to succeed.
Yes. This is tough because I feel like there's a lot of guys that could take home most likely to succeed. And for me, though, I'm thinking of a freshman who, by the time he gets to be a senior, is going to be just all over this yearbook. And so for me, I'm going with Franz.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how I might interpret this. I'm actually going to go with Cole Anthony.
Okay.
Not just the basketball aspect, but I think of all the players, he seems to have just a great head on his shoulders.
Sure.
I think like growing up in the way that he did with the parents that he has, not to trash on anyone else's parents, but he just has been around the block.
Sure.
And he knows what it's going to take. And he's going to stick around. He's maybe not going to be the best player.
Okay.
But he's if I had to put money on like who's going to play the most years,
yep,
I think I'm putting money on Cole Anthony.
So you're saying Cole Anthony because he's well liked and is popular.
Oh, did I hit a nerve?
He's going to be all over the book.
Did I hit a nerve, Peach? I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I get it.
I love
I'm trying
you.
to sell yearbooks.
Okay. He's not over it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, next one. Guy, and I think the guys actually answered this during the year. Guy you least want to date your sister. And this one's easy for us because we don't have a sister.
True.
So it's all hypothetical here. If you had a sister, I imagine this is much more personal for you out there.
Yeah. If I had a sister and she could date any Orlando Magic player, I'd be like, yes, please do. Because I feel like we might get to go to a few more games or something. But for the purposes of the superlative, I'm going with RJ Hampton.
Damn it, I knew that you were going to do that.
He's just young and seems a little immature off the court, so that's just I don't want my sister dating somebody who's not even legally allowed to drink yet, or is he? He's getting close.
He's close. So. He's 21, I think.
Let's,
he just turned 21. Yeah, that's I mean, him and Jalen had that TMZ moment where they were with that douchey McDouche from the Outer Banks show where he was like grinding up drunkenly on some girl in broad daylight. It looked like it was 3 p.m. It's like, bro, get your priorities together. This is not the guy you want to be chilling with. So RJ, just stay in that gym, man. Stay away from that pretty boy looking MRFer. And
there's other ways to go about being a man about town.
Yeah,
you can do it with a little more class and style. But that'll come with age. You'll get there.
He will, like a fine wine. All right, best couple on the team. Best couple.
Well, I think we're lucky. I don't think RJ is going to be dating our sister because I think for me, it's well, no, you know what? I'm not going that way.
Why?
We're going with my heart.
Okay.
I'm going with Rolo and stuff.
Okay.
There's no combination of people on the out there, with maybe the exception of Jeff Turner and David Steele.
True.
There's no combo that I really enjoyed more in between game action than Stuff and Rolo. Their antics sustained me all season long.
Gosh, that is a good one. Yeah, I mean, there's no more storied relationship than that, is there? Except perhaps for the love affair between R.J. Hampton, Cole Anthony, and the medicine ball.
That's true.
I mean, those
thrusts.
Well,
it's not a medicine ball. It's
the bat, the bouncy ball, the exercise ball. Yeah, I mean, those.
If they could do that with a medicine ball, that'd be damn impressive. Yeah. Then maybe my sister would be like, "I don't care what you say, I'm dating it."
Oh no!
You can sling that thing.
Yeah, those thrusts were impressive, and I just think there's a lot of lust there. There's a lot of passion in that exercise ball between those two gentlemen,
and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's important that couples have fun together.
This is odd. All right. Us, we're pretty much fashion icons, you and I. We really know how to dress. Not. So we're going to go for best dressed.
This is the tough one because I saw a lot of terrible fashion on the sideline.
Yeah, you were not happy. The old man came out a lot
and I'm
on
not,
the porch.
When everybody's in uniform, I can't take that into account because obviously our uniforms all look pretty clean. They look good. I'm not trying to base anybody on how they wear it. Best dressed, I'm gonna go Admiral Schofield here for a one game when I saw him on the sideline wearing an NWO t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Just because it was one of the only times I saw someone wearing something on the sideline that I have. So I'm gonna go with that one.
I like that.
I love that he's for life.
Yeah.
And decided to wear that. It's just weird to me that guys are not in some sort of uniform or well dressed when they're getting paid millions and you're there for the game, but you can't play or you're not playing. I don't understand why you're in sweatpants or t-shirts and stuff like that, but things are relaxed now. So
I mean, what I don't understand about it is how the guys sitting on the sideline look like kind of like us right now, t-shirt and sweats, as you said, but they probably cost like 10 G's. That's what blows my mind. When people pay exorbitant amounts of money for t-shirts and leisure wear that you can get at TJ Maxx for the same price. So I hope, gentlemen, that's not what you're doing. Spend your money well, put it in a retirement account, and stop that silly spending on the clothing.
Get some Bitcoin or some of the NFTs.
Yeah, well, they love that. They love that. No, don't recommend that. No, that's another crapshoot. I think Gary Harris got voted by the guys on the team as best dressed.
Okay,
but I'm gonna go with Jonathan Isaac.
Ooh, yeah.
He's a slick dresser, and he's more what he'll come through with a nice blazer.
Yeah, you're right.
On him, he has the well-fitting slacks. Like, the man looks sharp. I'm not going to begrudge him that. And he had a lot of time to do a lot of outfits on the sideline.
True. I think I like that he always looks very presentable on the sideline.
Yeah.
It makes me feel a little bit better that he sat there all year.
Yeah.
He had plenty of time to work out a wardrobe, and at least he got that part right. Thumbs up for Jonathan Isaac's fashion.
All right. Do you want to do this one? Do we want to do 7?
Might as well.
All right. Well, most likely to ignite for 20-plus points. I think we made this one probably for the torch, but I can't imagine that he's going to get it. Or are we going to give it to him as like a consolation on the way
definitely giving it to him.
Yeah.
He is. He's most likely to ignite for 20-plus points. Some of these other guys, you hope they get it or they're going to fight to get it or whatever. He legit ignites where it comes out of nowhere. He's chucking up threes. Everything's falling. Guys are in his face, and it doesn't matter. And that's a unique thing to have. And so for me, it was him. There's no question here.
Yeah, I feel like Cole is also kind of a streaky guy who all of a sudden, some of those fourth quarters where he bangs out 3 threes in a row and, the game has changed.
Right.
But I'm going to give it to the torch.
Yeah.
Can't give it to anyone else. That'd be wrong.
One last lighting.
Yeah. Insert lighter emoji thing.
Oh, I thought you'd go for more of a Statue of Liberty torch. That's what I envision.
Okay, do that. Yeah, I'll get that post-production. There you go, baby. That looks good.
Yeah. I think it's the wrong hand. I forget which hand it is. But
last one, teacher's pet. Teacher's pet. This one's easy. I think you're probably going to go with the same one for me.
All right, go ahead then.
All right. Jalen Suggs.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there was really no one else really maybe competing for this. Cole a little bit. He liked to be at Jamal Mosley's side. Yeah. But Jalen with the time off, always in the coach's ear. This is a good thing. This is a good teacher's pet. We like to see Jalen Suggs as Jamal Mosley's teacher's pet because he was soaking it up. He didn't have the best year, but I think that IQ increased greatly. This guy has played basketball and football his whole life. He's now focusing on basketball. Give him an off season. Give him all that learning with the coach, and we're going to see a different Jalen Suggs next year.
Agreed. I mean, I've talked about that a lot throughout the course of the show when I talk about Suggs and him learning while he was out. So I think teacher's pet gets a negative connotation when you're in the class because you like, stop brown nose and stop doing that thing. But you show me one teacher's pet that like is in jail or like got hooked on drugs. Like they usually stay out of trouble and get going on the straight and narrow and go somewhere. So I said usually. So in this case, I like that he's teacher's pet because that means that the future's bright for him and he's listening and he's learning and he's paying attention.
Awesome. So those are our season superlatives. What are your season superlatives? What awards are you giving out to our squad from this year that could be silly, zany, wacky, or serious?
Yeah, make one up specifically for a player, then give it to him.
Or what season superlatives would you give us? Give us some. I want to get. Yeah, or maybe not. I don't know.
Most likely to drop an F-bomb on a podcast.
There you go. All right, next, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into what was promised last episode, and we didn't get to put it in because of time constraints and some weird stuff. Guest conference. Now, this is a newer segment. We didn't get to hear a lot from the players this year or, other people around the team. Mm-hmm. So guest conference is all about when certain friends of the show get to ask other certain friends of the show questions about our Orlando Magic or adjacent topics. So I guess I'm going to kick it off, I think, Peach. Or should I say...
Tip off?
You're going to kick it off, Peach, because I'm the Peach now. Okay?
Is that me? Is that what
this is how you talk. You kind of talk like this, I think.
Normally during these press conferences, you'd get only 2 players after a game. Today, you're going to get to meet. You're going to have 4. Let's go.
So, Chet Holmgren, this is Peach here. And I'm just wondering what your off-season plans are this off-season.
Well, my off-season plans are to, really have some candy every day. I'm a big candy guy. I like all that stuff. And then I like to play some video games with my friends and hang out and ride bikes and just, have fun. It's what the summer's for. It's just, it's for having a good time. And then I think at some point some team was going to tell me that I play for them, and then maybe I'll go move to another city, and I'll hopefully make new friends while I'm there.
Yeah. Wow, that's so nice, Chet.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
It'll be a nice little summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Hot boy summer, I call
it. Damn, that's so disrespectful. Is that his voice that high? Is that...
Are you asking me factually?
Now I'm Kyle again. Yeah.
Okay, I really am not sure, but I'm just basing it off size of
his wrist.
Yeah, his arms and legs, and I mean he's a kid in 1 year of college.
Yeah,
he's a young kid.
Pretty much a kid. You're right.
You can't tell me that guy's not going to get some Skittles and get out his BMX this summer. I mean, just no way. It's always not.
I just didn't have a follow up. It was too hilarious. I couldn't think of it. I was going to ask you about a lemonade stand.
I know. I was waiting for you to.
I should have gone with lemonade stand or like piggy bank. I'm like, what are you going to do with your?
I don't know. Yeah, I could have gone further.
Anyways,
I try to. All right. Anyway, let's. So now I'm going to interview this fella over here. I used to live around a bunch of you guys, and it's part of the reason that I got the hell out of Boston.
Oh, dude.
You guys are rough, you're gruff, and Mr. Kyrie Irving came to town, and you guys gave him the business. Why such a deep beef for a guy who basically played on our team one season?
Bailey played on our team one season. This guy is the biggest bitch I ever seen in my life. He can't come over to Southie, all right? He'll get a fistful of this and a fistful of that. Little O'Malley and little O'Mallaghan, all right? He can have them, right? He can come for it. I live in this guy's head, dude. I got more real estate in Kyrie Irving's head than Zillow. Okay? Flicking us off. We don't care about the bird, dude. We invented the bird. You can get out of here with that. All right? Where you going to be? You're sitting on the sideline. Quack, 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 baby. The earth is flat. Meh, meh, meh. All right? Take it back to Brooklyn, you little sissy.
I have one question for you.
Okay.
And it's based on pastries.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite cannoli since I've got Boston Guy here?
Oh, North End, kid. What
I know,
what are we even talking
which establishment? Because there is a big beef between the two.
What do you mean? There's no beef, kid. There's no beef. You go to one, you walk across the street, you get another. You have two cannolis. You double cannoli.
All right, so you're saying they're both good.
Oh, wicked, dude.
Oh, all right. Thanks for getting a wicked in.
Yeah, you can't ask me follow-up questions, Peach. I don't know which cannoli name store is, all right? I'm doing a character here.
Okay, fair. The answer is Mike's.
Okay.
But don't wait in the long line. Have someone do it for you.
All right, I'm excited for this next question. I'm getting to ask the legend, David Steele. Kyle from Court Cousins here, man. I just want to say I'm a huge fan. I really appreciate all your work.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for taking the time out and talking with me and my cousin Peach. You probably don't remember us. I know you talked to a lot of people.
No, I remember meeting you two young gentlemen, and it was a lot of fun. You came down to see the Orlando Magic, and it was great. You gave us a card, and we signed some stuff, and it was great to meet you guys. It was great.
You're such a legend, David. Can you just, I would love to hear your thoughts on the season and the future of the Magic. What are you thinking, David?
Well, I think the future is bright for the Orlando Magic, and it's just been a pleasure watching them grow all season, and hopefully they're going to continue to grow right here in our city, beautiful.
Oh man, and who do you think is the worst player in the NBA? Because I know you don't like to trash talk, but I want the trash talk, David.
Well, you're not going to get me now. That's not the way I like to play. I like to watch all the players and all the teams, and they come down to Orlando, or I go to other cities, and I just really enjoy the game of basketball. I would have to say that I enjoy sitting with Jeff and getting the chance to call all the action.
Well done, Peach. Well done. Yeah,
it's a little easier to do when I'm doing games. Like if I hear
do a call for me.
Like if I hear him do a call, and then like the minute I hear it, I can parrot that sucker back.
Yeah.
In the exact same thing. But it's been a few weeks now since I've heard him, so it is a little bit harder. But the way he says
your
Orlando's
announcer voice is your Orlando voice is pretty.
My
close
regular
to his.
announcer voice is similar to his, which is I think why I like him so much.
Yeah.
His is better though.
Oh,
definitely better.
He's a pro. I mean, what are we even talking about?
I don't like listening back.
What are we even talking about? Dude? Come on. What are we
This
even,
guy's
what are we even talking about, dude?
Get out of here.
What the fuck? Dude, come on. Wicked, dude. All right.
I'm going to go get our guest from the green room.
Oh.
He insisted
that's
we
fitting.
call it that.
Okay.
Yeah, so Stuff's brought his signs.
Oh.
But I don't know if you know this about me, but I actually speak stuff.
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, so I'll translate for him, but he wanted to be here and have a chance to be on the show. Okay, don't touch the mics.
Yeah.
Don't touch the mics. You're making too much noise here. He's used to making a lot of noise and asking for noise. It's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put your signs down here. I'll just translate for you for a while. No, he feels naked without the signs.
Does he want him back? Is he all right? Is he gonna be okay?
You can pick him up later.
Okay.
But answer a question first.
Okay. Well, Stuff. It was just beautiful to see the blossoming relationship between you and Rolo this year. Could you talk a little bit about what that meant to you to have Robin come back and put water under the bridge and just develop that brotherhood? So what did he say there, Peach?
Well, he says, it was great to have Rolo there as a friend because they'd had some beef in the past, but it was all in good fun. They put it behind him. He gave him some shoes.
Oh, yeah. Those are beautiful.
And then he wore them out on the court, which he just thought was fantastic.
Touching.
And really just he's excited for the future and hopes that they can continue to grow what they have. It's truly is it a bromance at this point? Yeah, he says it's a bromance.
That's so nice stuff. And I just have one more question. Where do you get your massive flags? Because they're amazing.
He says he's got a great flag guy.
Oh, okay.
And he can hook you up with them.
Can he hook? Yeah, because I think ours is a little dainty here. What? Is he talking shit about our flag right now?
Yeah, he's saying it's too small.
It's too small.
Too small. Well, you have anything else you want to say before you go, Steph? You got your signs out here?
Okay.
Oh, he says,
make some noise.
Go Magic.
Go Magic.
Okay,
all right.
He's making it. Oh, it's a bold prediction time.
Oh.
Bold prediction time from Steph.
2025-26 Eastern Conference champions, Orlando Magic.
He says, book it. And then he said something else that I'm not going to repeat. You should watch your stuff. Normally he realizes people can't speak stuff, so he feels like he can swear and it's okay.
But... does Stuff have a dirty mouth? Is he? Oh, gosh.
Well, his response was a little dirty. You need to relax.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Stuff talks dirtier than a sailor out there. So
that's right. I'm the father of dragons now. I dragon.
Nice Game of Thrones reference. From the father of dragons to the father of magic, we are going to the Peach invented, but now the Kyle participating, Magic the Card Gathering. And in Magic the Card Gathering, we started with just 5 categories. Then Peach brought in 5 more categories to kind of share some of our passion for NBA basketball cards.
Yep.
And now we're going to throw a little monkey wrench in that. Peach, you want to tell the people what we're doing today?
Yeah, I when I first started this thing, I had 5 categories. Now we've got 10. So I figured, let's put them on a wheel. Let's spin it. You've got a big enough collection now that you can get in on this thing. So we're going to spin the wheel, see what category comes up, and then just both present a card based on that category. I think this is one of those things where, now we're in the off season. We're not doing the what I learned all the time, so we got to go back into the memory banks and share some good stories based on our card collecting, which we love, and we'll talk about a little bit about more later. So let's give this wheel a spin and see what our first category is. All right. They played in Orlando. All right. Okay. Now he's going to go into his binder. I'm going to dig into the treasure trove, and let's see what we can find.
Okay, I got one. Should I go? I'm the rookie here. Should I start?
Go ahead. Lead us off.
So, Peach, I have none other than Jason Williams, White Chocolate. And I picked this because I had forgotten that J. Will played in Orlando. I have those memories of him in Sacktown playing with Chris Webber, Peja Stojakovic, those beautiful passes, the behind-the-back elbow pass in the All-Star game when he was for Sacramento. And also he played on those Sacramento teams with Orlando Magic legend Nick Anderson, who I have a Sacramento card for Nick Anderson in the collection somewhere, which always throws me off because I just can't remember seeing him in that jersey. Jason Williams also, White Chocolate, holds a special place in my heart because growing up, Bridgeport's a really diverse city. For people who don't know Bridgeport, Connecticut, it's like a third black, a third Latin, and then like a third white/Asian. It's really diverse. So growing up in middle school, I went to a school where I was like one of a couple white kids in my class. So I definitely heard, in reference to me, the White Chocolate. And my nickname in elementary and middle school became Beano, which I learned later is a laxative, but that's not why. My friends would say to me, man, Kyle, you can't be white. Like, you must be albino, right? So then it went from albino to Beano somehow in
Interesting.
There. So, just like the White Chocolate moniker for Jason Williams, also just I have some lived experience with it.
Okay. And,
his time in Orlando wasn't great. He played 1 complete season, and then the next season in 09, 010, and 10. In 10-11, he only played 16 games, and I didn't quite remember this. I had to read up on it. He was not happy. That was the year we had Jameer Nelson as the starting point guard now, and then Chris Duhon was kind of coming off, edging him out of minutes, and then we traded for Gilbert Arenas, which I do remember. So he was kind of relegated to the trash minutes, and he vocalized wanting to get out. He didn't even travel with the team when we went to play in Indianapolis on a road trip, and then we kind of just released him, and he went maybe back to Memphis or something. But yeah, his short and fiery time in Orlando. Jason Williams.
Short and fiery.
Short and fiery, like me crotch.
Well, I went with this Juwan Howard Fleer Ultra. There he is right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that text there.
I think we've all discussed that Juwan Howard played with the Magic, but it's It's easy to forget he only played one season in Orlando. He averaged 17 points a game and 7 boards, so he was playing pretty well. Well enough that they included him in the trade with T-Mac and others for Steve Francis, Cuttino Mobley, and Kelvin Cato. And they thought that was a good move. And you know what? I looked hard at that trade today when I was thinking about this with Juwan, and based on what we knew back then, didn't seem that terrible. Yeah. People thought Steve Francis was going to be Allen Iverson, So they thought the T-Mac for him thing was going to even out a little.
Yeah.
And with the season that Juwan just had, we were getting Kelvin Cato to replace inside. Cuttino Mobley was another guy that he could be a starter. So at the time, those guys didn't pan out.
Right.
But at the time, it made sense.
Yeah.
I may never say that again on this show, so enjoy it. All right, let's spin the wheel and see the second category.
All right, go for it, Peach.
Photo buttes.
Oh yes, I've got some beauties right here, Peach.
Here's a photo butte of Shaq on a Beckett on the cover of my binder.
Oh, that's nice. I remember getting Beckett's when I was a kid. All right, so I got a few here, Peach, that I pulled out of the binder.
Go ahead.
And they're all Markelle Fultz's.
Oh.
Because look at this. You got the NBA Hoops Markelle Fultz.
Yep.
With this is, I imagine, I'm not a big baller. I never had aspirations to be a basketball player. But I imagine if you did, this is kind of the card you would want. Driving down the lane, full extension, about to throw it down on a dunk. We've got Darius Garland in the background looking up like, oh, no, that's going down. And then just look at this. It's a photo butte, but I mean, how lucky Markelle. Another one going to the hole. Right. Another one full extension.
Yep.
Another one
So the same guy that's shooting Evan Fournier back in the day was like, all right, I'm moving on to Markelle Fultz now.
Yeah.
I got to get all great shots of Fultz taking the ball to the hole. Well, but he's going with authority.
Yeah, I believe that more. I think we saw some of those bursts, and that's what really gets me excited about Markelle. I mean, he gets into the lane at will and really causes defenses to collapse, throws out the rock. I mean, I just cannot wait for a full season of Markelle Fultz next year, and I'm sure you all out there are feeling the same way.
Agreed.
What do you got, Peach? What'd you find for photo buttes?
For my photo butte, I am spinning back the clock, and I'm going with this one here of Scott Skiles.
Oh, that is nice.
There's a fun bonus about this card that the Charlotte Hornets top two players, Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson, a.k.a. Grandmama, are watching Scott Skiles blow by them and go up for this land, which is totally fun. And if you haven't gotten your Hornets fill with what's on the front, if you turn it around, you can see him blowing past Muggsy Bogues on the back.
Wow.
So Scott Skiles in a photo butte here on two sides. Photo butte but really that picture on the front is pretty amazing. Getting the lay-in past Alonzo Mourning, who just didn't have enough wherewithal. The green meter on his NBA Jam wasn't high enough for block. Yeah. And Scott got in there and laid it in for the deuce.
I like that from Upper Deck with a smaller photo on the back. You don't see many cards like that at all.
You're going to see this design of card later in the round, I think.
Okay. Well, how would you know that?
I know that because I have bonus cards coming up. Not on the wheel.
Oh, not on the wheel. Okay.
Stick around. All right. But let's spin that wheel again for the third category. Rare treasures.
All right.
Now we gotta dig deep.
I dug already.
Find a fun one.
I dug already.
You dug already?
Yeah.
You just prepared one? You're like, I'm gonna find a category and just shove this card in it.
No, because we paused and I edited and I have the card ready now.
Oh, the magic is gone.
Yeah.
For this podcast about the magic. Okay, well, what do you got there, big guy?
I have, Peach, a prized possession here. I have a signed Elfrid Payton rookie card, NBA Hoops. I like his signature. I like how it's like this reverse P. Reminds me of the paragraph.
That was a signed in card
on card,
on
right
card,
there,
in
on card
hand.
signature in hand. Just it's rare, obviously, because of the signature and the rookie. And it's a rare it's not a rare disappointment. I've been disappointed many times with the Orlando Magic, but I really thought that Elfrid was a very solid NBA player. Like, I thought it was going to pan out.
Right.
Drafted in 2014 by the Sixers for us, number 10. Then we traded what ended up being Dario Saric, like the 12th pick, and like a conditional first later on. And ladies and gentlemen, don't look at draft histories. That was a big year for the Orlando Magic. We had 4 and 10 that year, and we took Aaron Gordon and Elfrid Payton. And some of the guys after that, just don't look.
Mistakes were made.
Zach LaVine, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Nikola Vucevic, Clint Capella. I mean, the list goes on. That was a pretty deep draft. And for us to kind of have struck out really on 2 guys on the top 10, that really hurt the franchise for a few years there.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to see that much in the future. I think every NBA team has
of course.
Some of those drafts that you look back and go, that's a swing and a miss. Except for that years that the Spurs were a dynasty, because it seemed like everybody they drafted turned to gold. But now they're eating it, aren't they?
Well, they made the play-in this year. No one expected them to do that.
True. Yeah, so maybe their guys are better than I think.
Yeah, Josh Primo is going to make you regret that
If you're a scout
statement.
for the Spurs, you're living high on the hog.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
What did you get, Peach?
For mine, I'm going with this card of Ryan Anderson. It's called a Christmas card. There's a piece of jersey on there, and it's numbered 23 out of 499. I picked that one up when we were on our trip to Orlando. I actually have a Marcin Gortat like that as well. I like these cards because any jersey card I'm into, and I didn't have a lot of Ryan Anderson to begin with. But I also really remember watching this game. It was in 2009 on Christmas. I was in Milwaukee at the time. I was kind of thinking about moving away, and on Christmas Day just found myself by myself, and I watched the NBA all day, and I made myself some food, and it was a pretty nice little like day to myself.
Yeah,
in the apartment with my 2 roommates were gone, so I had the whole place to myself. But I remember watching this game, so I think that to me it has a little extra kick of something. But Ryan Anderson was a pretty solid player for a long time, and then I think he kind of faded away. But I mean, that guy could really shoot the 3, and he was a good piece of.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
When he was on our team for sure.
One of those first gen of like the stretch 4s. Man, Peach, like I just want to give you a hug, man. The yearbook slide that you got, the eating alone. I can just like see you like cutting a hot dog on Christmas, like
I'll have
baked beans.
I'll have you know I made a turkey.
Okay. All right.
So I wasn't eating.
I stand corrected.
I wasn't eating something silly, and I had sheet cake for dessert that was left over from something else. But regardless, I had cake.
You've got a damn good memory, dude. You've definitely not smoked weed. Okay.
When you spend a holiday by yourself and it's a little depressing, it's hard to forget. All right, let's spin the wheel. Ooh, shiny.
All righty.
This is one of my favorite categories. We just get to find a shiny card.
Okay, you go
and
first.
Show it to you. And nowadays, a lot of the cards they make are very shiny.
Okay.
So I will go first. I am going to show you a card that was featured on Card Cousins, one of our other spinoffs here on YouTube that you can see. That's an orange variant of Markelle Fultz.
Ooh.
And Kyle and I did a blaster box battle, which you can see. And you can watch us get super overly excited when we each opened up one of these. This is the variant of the regular Markelle card, and we both got one in our boxes, despite one of the boxes coming from eBay and the other one coming from a card shop here in Fairfield, Connecticut. So it was kind of amazing that we both got one. But if you want to watch us open this and get super excited about Magic cards, check us out on Card Cousins. We're doing a lot of fun stuff over there.
Okay, I'm on the spot here. I'm going to go with this Panini Prism Cole Anthony rookie card variant. Just love a good variant, and it's shiny.
Yep.
And we love Cole Anthony.
Yeah.
He's in the North Carolina jersey, so I kind of did that for you.
Yeah, I like that card.
Yeah.
I've had that one on display back here for a while. I try to mix up the Cole Anthony sitting by Ramsey's because he likes variety back there. I don't speak Ram, though, so I don't know exactly what he's saying.
Oh, you can't translate?
No, but I can tell when he's happy with it, and if I tried to put up a Duke guy, he gets mad. So.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. No Wendell Carter's up there.
I had a Wendell up there for a bit, and he said, no, I can't be here with this.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, what's next, Peach? Spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel. The wheel had a lot more bass on that one, and one has to wonder why. Just why. And that's what has won this category. It's why, just why. Are you prepared this time? Do you have a why this time?
Okay. I'm prepared. I'm going with the ultimate, ladies and gentlemen. The ultimate Orlando Magic why, just why.
Ooh.
Do you know what it is out there? I think you do.
I think we do.
It's Fran Vasquez.
Sure.
All right. The ultimate why, just why. Why do they even have a card of this man? He was our 11th pick in 2005. I guess the thought was to pair him with Dwight Howard, which was a very dinosaur mentality from Otis Smith. This was kind of right when things were about to change and we were about to go 3 happy. But Otis Smith was thinking, let's get 2 twin towers down there and really beat people up inside. Probably wouldn't have worked anyways. But Fran Vasquez, as you all know, Spanish player, never played a game for the Orlando Magic. Left us with a lot of egg on our face. Was drafted, even came to Orlando, took this photo probably. Oh, no, this is probably draft night.
From the draft.
But he took some photos with jerseys and things. And then after that said, nope, I'm out. I want to go play one more year in Spain with his team there. One more year turned into the rest of his career. Again, don't ever do this, ladies and gentlemen. We wasted this 11th pick. Wasn't a great draft, but drafted over guys like Danny Granger, who was a really good player for a while until he got injured. David Lee, great player for the Knicks. It would have been nice to have him.
Sure.
Monta Ellis, Jarrett Jack. Again, wasn't a great draft, but still, any player would have been better than no players. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, that's actually true.
Is that true?
That is
okay.
a fact,
I've checked that. Now, I'm done trashing on Fran Vasquez. He actually leads the Spanish league, the ACB, which is a pretty good league.
Yes.
One of the other top leagues in the world in blocks, all-time blocks.
Wow.
So he had a pretty good...
So he was a good player.
Yeah, he had a pretty good player. I guess there was no indication, but after reading some articles, people close to him in Spain were like, yeah, he was just a small-time guy and got influenced by his lady and some of the people that were close to him that just wanted him to stay close. And
fair enough.
That's what happened.
You know what? I got a different view on Fran Vasquez now.
You can't begrudge him for that.
It's understandable. I think a lot of people would feel the same way. And if you're comfortable and you don't need to make the cash in of having to come over here and play and you want to stay home, it makes sense. I wouldn't want to go over to Spain and play basketball. I don't know Spanish. I'd be lost.
Yeah, but damn, why even go into the draft in the first place? That's the only thing that just grinds our gears.
That's the real mistake there. But I think every team probably has one of these draft picks. And I've looked back, and then, again, you like to say, what if we drafted this guy? What if we drafted this guy? Well, then maybe for the next year's draft, you wouldn't have been in the same position. So it is a deep rabbit hole you can go down if you start to wonder all that stuff.
I started watching Fran Vasquez highlights. You don't need to tell me about
man. I'm like getting ready to set up for the show, and this guy's watching a Fran Vasquez highlight, and I'm like, what are you doing?
There weren't many highlights. It was just like him dunking. I was like, that looks simple. All right.
I should be able to find some highlights of him blocking, apparently.
Right? I know.
He blocked all attempts to come to America.
What do you got, Pish?
I have gone with a Corey Maggette rookie card here. It's a good card, good-looking card. Now, why usually is somebody that you're like, why? We didn't want that guy. I've gone a different way on this one because Corey Maggette had a nice little career.
Yeah.
But he only played his first year with Orlando. He was actually drafted 13th overall after only playing one season at Duke. And then he was drafted by the Seattle Supersonics, by the way, and then traded on draft night with Dale Ellis, Don McClain, and Billy Owens to the Orlando Magic for Horace Grant and a second-round pick. That's right, Horace Grant played for the Sonics. Look it up. He did it. And Corey Maggette came to the Magic, and then almost 1 year to the day, he was traded with Keon Dooling and Derek Strong and cash considerations. We all love cash considerations. To the Clippers for a first-round pick in 2006. Now, he was traded in 2000, and we traded him and Keon Dooling and all those other guys for a 2006 first-round pick.
6 years down the road?
Yeah, which we ended up later trading to somebody else. It became Marcus Williams. It wasn't even worth anything at all. So he basically just gave away all that stuff for nothing. And Corey Maggette had a nice little career. Yeah. He averaged 20 points a game for several years, played a long time in the NBA, but it was 14 years. And that would have been a nice one to hang on to in those lean years when we really needed some scoring and needed some pop. Things could have been different if we would have had Corey Maggette still in the squad.
Why just why?
Why just why? And now I've got 3 bonus cards.
Okay, what do you got
here for the end of Magic the Card Gathering? Well, as I've done a couple of times now, I'll find something around your parents' house to kind of pick on you. And you know what I thought? You know what? why don't you pick on yourself a little bit?
Oh,
so today I've got 3 cards from my history that I think are pretty interesting. First of all, I submit to you this one here, hand drawn by me. It's called Lower Deck, not Upper Deck. And you can see here that I am pictured on the Boston Celtics wearing the number 7, which was D. Brown. You can see what I've drawn there is the classic D. Brown no-look dunk where he dunks like this. And that's me in the kids NBA, the KNBA. And there I am for the Celtics. And you can see on the back, it says promo error card. I was on the U.S. team. Yeah, that's very important. All the stats are there as well. And
this is thorough, dude.
Yes. And then you can see here the follow-up. The art is not as good on this one. There's no color on this one as well. You can see here I am on the Orlando Magic finally for this version of my KNBA card.
Well, this one's signed, too.
That one is signed, yeah. But this one has a gloss on it, which is basically tape. Because that's how we did it back in the day.
And you spell your name wrong, which I find interesting.
Well, I used to spell it with a Y for a little while, so that was part of the issue there.
Because your rebellious phase?
Well, there was like 10 to 11 maybe Jasons in my graduating class.
Okay.
So Jason was a popular name in our area, especially when I was a youth. So anything to make yourself a little bit different. So I threw the Y in there on mine. It's not really in there, but it's on my diploma, as a matter of fact. The Y is actually on my diploma.
Oh, dang. Wasn't enough to get you in the yearbook, though.
And lastly, speaking of yearbook, here's a photo that may have been in the yearbook.
Oh, yes.
This would be me as a football player. I think the most outstanding thing here is look at that hair, folks.
Oh, man.
Look at the luscious locks on that hair.
That's beautiful.
26 years ago, there I was, a 17-year-old kid, a virgin, getting ready to play his senior year of high school football. And what a season it would be. A great tight end, if I may say so myself, for the Colchester Lakers. And so there you go. So there's an old picture of me being goofy and doing something. I couldn't find a basketball one, but definitely have football and some of the other sports. So
that's awesome, man.
That's how you gather cards, kids.
That's fantastic. Well, we want you to get involved, ladies and gentlemen, with Magic the Card Gathering. For you card connoisseurs out there, what are some of your favorite Magic cards? You can put those cards in the comments or share them with us on social media. We'd love to see what's going on. And if you're really into cards like we've been getting lately, you go check out Card Cousins, which is the spin-off of Court Cousins, where we just talk about cards. We do box openings, box battles, things like that. We've been having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we're going to do some box breaks coming up soon, and we're going to compare a couple of companies that will send cards to you. We got the Boombox and the Collectible Card Club. Yeah, that one will be coming up soon. These, I can't believe how long these have sat here unopened. It's making me twitchy.
Well, something that's making me twitchy is the thought of losing my hair in our NBA playoff pick'em. Because I went out on some limbs here in my first round to try to maybe catch lightning in a bottle, and it's not looking good. I picked the Timberwolves to beat the Grizzlies just because I liked how the Wolves came into the playoffs, and I picked the Jazz to beat the Mavericks because Luka was down, and I just thought even with all the turmoil of the Jazz, they were a veteran team. They were going to get out of the first round. But it's not looking like either of those things are happening right now.
Yeah, you made a point somewhere about something with Utah. I don't remember how it came up, but you said if they're having this much trouble against the Mavs without Luka Doncic, I don't know how anyone could ever believe in this team. But that kind of like goes to what I was saying when we made these picks. I thought that, Denver and Utah, after these first round losses, are going to go back to the drawing board and be like, we are not good enough. What do we need to do to get there? The Nuggets have the excuse of not having Jamal Murray, but the Utah doesn't quite have that excuse. And in fact, they were playing against a Luka-less team and really struggled.
They dropped one, and that was once they dropped one without Luka.
Yeah.
And Jalen Brunson put like 30 some on them, crazy.
It's not to say the rest of the Mavericks aren't good, but I think Utah should be better than a team that doesn't have Luka.
And to your point, like the Utah Jazz right now are a rudderless team. The wheels are falling off, and in the Magic community, Donovan Mitchell is a guy that's been tied as a trade target because it looks like they're probably going to blow it up. But my query to you out there, ladies and gentlemen, is this the guy we want that's sputtering out in the first round? I mean, I know the team has been together for a while, and you just sometimes need to change the scenery, and maybe when he gets to his new place, he'll kind of snap out of it. But if with the squad they have now, which is a pretty damn good team, they can't get out of the first round, is that really what we want to probably have to trade some of our young guys and pay a whole bunch of money to have Donovan Mitchell? I mean, I don't know.
It's not all on Donovan, I don't think, in this case. But if Utah's smart, they got to find a way to keep him. I think he's the piece that you want to keep. I think if you're looking to move somebody, try to move Rudy Gobert.
You think Rudy Gobert's time is over as a
No, I think he's a solid player. I just think whatever they're doing there in Utah, it's not working.
Okay.
So somebody else would love to have Rudy Gobert on the inside. I wouldn't hate him being on our squad, but I mean, he's a traditional inside player only.
Right.
He's not going to go out and shoot the three like you've talked about. I'm fine with that, but it has to work with your offensive scheme and what you do.
Right.
And right now, whatever's happening there, there's not enough alley-oop jams to make it worth having that team together still. But the rest of the West is still kind of going as you thought. I think the New Orleans and Suns series is very exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought New Orleans was really good when we played them. I remember saying, man, this team is, could you imagine if they were all healthy? And now, other than Zion, they're all pretty much there, and they're balling, man. They're looking good.
I love
and they're giving
Jones,
them all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
And it's a fun series. Like, every game has been fun and tight. And right as of recording, it's 3-2 Suns.
Right.
But this thing could easily go 7 here.
I hope it does. It's been really good. We already have teams like, both of us had Miami going through, Milwaukee, and Golden State. So that keeps us even.
Yep.
I think I'm probably going to drop some points in the first round. So I'm going to need you. I'm going to need the Suns to lose in the next round, or the Suns to lose, to Phoenix, and Golden State goes to the finals. That will help me too, because you have the Phoenix going all the way to the chip. Or I'm going to need Milwaukee to win the whole thing.
Yeah. Conversely, if the Grizzlies could defeat the Warriors in the next round, that's good for me.
Right.
So it could come down to the Western Conference Finals. I'd like to see that, by the way. If I could see a Golden State and Phoenix Western Conference Finals,
that'd be exciting.
I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Big bowl of popcorn. I'm set. Like, that's going to be a fun series. But it'll mean a lot more with our hair on the line. Normally.
Dude, I got to tell you out there, and Peach, like, I got into this a little too fast, and I'm very much regretting it. And I might back out. I might back out, dude.
Wow.
My girlfriend might leave me. Like, okay. I might be destitute. I might be penniless and by the side of the road. She stayed with you
after the Franz Wagner incident with your book.
Right. Yeah, that's true. She does love me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your hair grows back fast. Come on.
It's true. It's a beautiful lock, slow motion shot. I don't know if I can do that.
But, I mean, you could be in good shape if for some reason the Sixers continue to struggle. Toronto could even come back and win the series. Philly's up 3-2 right now.
Right.
But then even if they get through, I had them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. You have the Heat. So that could be where you get a little bit of an advantage.
I think that will help me out.
Because the Heat are definitely playing a little better than I gave them credit for. And whoever who played great that we didn't give any credit to is your second favorite team, the Boston Celtics.
I know.
We both got all up into that net bullshit.
I know we did.
We were not correct.
We weren't watching the games.
And my original one, I picked the Celtics, and for some reason I talked myself out of it.
Yeah.
And that was a dumb move.
So for those of you who don't know, hair is on the line here.
Yes.
My up top, Peach's facial.
Beard. Yeah. Well, I don't have any hair up there to put in the bet, so it wouldn't have been much of a bet.
The stakes are high.
Although it would have been fun to do a reverse bet where, like, you have to shave it off or I have to get a toupee.
Oh, man. Well, that's it, Peach. It's been a good show. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in and staying with us. Again, shout out to our second cousins on Patreon, Damien, Gloria, love you, Mom and Dad, and Con, you're the man. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. Card Cousins as well is on the way. Check eBay for Card Cousins if you're a card connoisseur.
eBay is Court Cousins.
Oh, eBay is Court Cousins.
We're selling stuff. We're selling cards. Not just basketball either. I'm putting up baseball stuff now. We're kind of all over the map, so check it out.
Well, everybody, it's been awesome. Peace.
Thanks for coming.